Good morning, students. So far, we have discussed the concepts of tenses, active voice and passive voice. And now, let us discuss the concept of direct and indirect speeches. Generally, or we often have to give information about what people say or think. In general, we need to give information of what people think or say. In order to do this, in order to inform or in order to give information about what people think or say, we use direct or quoted or indirect or reported speeches. Teacher said, today's lesson is on presentations. Teacher said, today's lesson is on presentations. So here, teacher said is followed by comma, and today's lesson is in presentations is in inverted commas. So we need to understand that when we want to pass information or when we want to inform, then we can use the direct, what exactly people said or what exactly people thought, or we can put it in our own words also. What people said is interpreted in our words and informed, and that information is passed. So here two ways we need to understand: direct, what exactly people said, what people said. Indirect, then we convert into in our words and we say. So here in English we have a special grammatical topic, that is direct and indirect speeches. When it comes to indirect speeches, indirect speech is also called reported speech. Reported speech does not use quotation marks, but whereas in direct speech we use quotation marks. And indirect speech, here we don't use quotation marks to enclose what the person said. And it does not have to be a word or word. It doesn't have to be what people said or word to word. For example, direct speech. I am going to cinema, he said. Here, I am going to cinema is in inverted commas, is followed by comma, he said. We need to understand that this is a direct speech. When we want to translate into indirect speech, he said that he was going to cinema. So in indirect speech, we don't use inverted commas and we don't use inverted commas to enclose what the person said. So this is what the basic difference between direct and indirect speeches. So there are some principles, there are some rules for direct and indirect speeches. When we say something in simple present, and when it comes to indirect speech, then the tense structure, the tense gets changed. So this is what is called the rules for direct and indirect speeches. Let us look at some of the rules for direct and indirect speeches. So for example, if a sentence in direct speech is in present simple form, when you want to translate into indirect speech, then it will take past simple. So present simple is converted into past simple in indirect speech. For example, he said, I go to college. Here, when we want to translate, he said that he went to college. So present simple is converted into past simple. Present continuous is converted into past continuous. I'm eating, for example, I'm eating an apple, he said. He said that he was eating an apple. So this is what is called. Present continuous becomes past continuous. Present perfect becomes past perfect. He said, I have written a letter. He said that he had written a letter. Present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. He said, have been working in alphabet. So he said that he had been working in an alphabet. So this is what we need to understand. So present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Simple past. For example, he said, I went to theater. And when it comes to when you want to translate it into indirect speech, then he said that he had gone to theater. So simple past becomes a past perfect in indirect speech. Past continuous becomes past perfect continuous. Past perfect becomes past perfect continuous, and past perfect becomes past perfect no change. Past perfect continuous, past perfect continuous no change at all. So these are the simple rules for direct and indirect speech. For example, will, if it is will in direct speech, then it becomes would in indirect. If it is can, it becomes could. If it is must, then it becomes had to. And if it is shall, then should. If it is may, then it is might. So these are the rules for direct indirect speeches. Already this concept has been taught in P1. It was also taught in in the previous year academic years. So here you can understand some of the rules for direct indirect speeches. And when it comes to time change factors also. For example, if you use now in direct speech, in indirect speech it becomes then. If you use this evening in direct speech, it becomes that evening in the indirect speech. So this evening becomes that evening, now becomes then, today becomes yesterday, these days becomes those days, a week ago, a week before, last weekend. It means the weekend before last or the previous weekend. Here becomes there. Next week it means it becomes the following week. Tomorrow in the next or following day. So time changing also is an important thing in direct and indirect speeches. So these are some of the principles, and for more examples, you please go through the document attached with the previous lectures. So now, simple complex compound sentences also. Simple complex compound sentences. Actually, we have three kinds of sentences: simple, compound, complex. Here, in order to understand these, we need to understand the difference between phrase and clause. Clause means a sentence that consists of a subject agreeing with the verb and that gives a complete meaning is what is called clause. Phrase consisting of words does not have subject and verb agreement and doesn't give complete meaning is called phrase. So if a sentence consists of a single clause is what is called simple sentence. In simple sentence consists of just only one clause. The dog is barking outside. The dog is barking outside is a simple clause. He is going to college. Simple sentence. So birds live in the nests. So sun rises in the east. So if a sentence consists only single clause is what is called simple sentence. Compound sentence means if a sentence or two sentences are joined by conjunctions is what is called compound sentence. For example, here in compound sentences you will find two or more independent clauses. The old woman sang and the younger woman danced. Here two independent clauses are joined by conjunction called and. Then this kind of sentences are called compound sentences. Men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. This is another example of compound sentence because here two independent clauses are joined by conjunctions. This is what is called compound sentence. And here one thing here, however, therefore, nevertheless are not the conjunctions, please. This is you have to make a note of it. However, therefore, nevertheless are not the conjunctions to join the sentences, and they cannot be used to connect sentences. So here, compound sentences are generally used. Two independent clauses are joined by conjunctions. Complex sentence is made up of one independent clause and two or more dependent clauses. For example, before we arrived at the university, we met up at the coffee day across the street. Here you can find one dependent before we arrived at the university, one is dependent. We met up at the coffee shop is independent. So this is what is called complex sentence. So complex here a sentence consists of one independent and two or more, or one or two or more dependent clauses. So simple means one sentence, one clause. Compound, two independent clauses are joined by conjunction. Complex, one independent clause and two or more dependent clauses. That is what is called complex sentences. Simple, complex, compound. Thank you.